I think what's amazing about this coalition is finally we've got a meeting of leaders, thought leaders, organizations, and folks who care about Western civilization, care about defeating political Islam, and can finally begin to have a force multiplication of everything we're doing to coordinate so that we can become that leading group of coalition organizations that can begin to change the world when it comes to helping Muslims reform Islam, protecting the ideas of Western civilization, and advancing liberty. It's been a lifetime of work to counter political Islam. As somebody who loves the country that gave my family freedom, I realized that the reason Syria and all these countries became unlivable is because of theocracy, because of dictatorship. And one of the ways to give back to my country of America is to not only we formed our organization, the American Islamic Forum for Democracy, but the coalition we initially formed, the Muslim Reform Movement, really speaks to how we recognize that we have an internal responsibility to take the faith that currently is stuck in the mud of the 13th century Sharia and other theocratic interpretations and begin to bring it kicking and screaming into the 21st century, which is about liberalism, about freedom, about the equality of men and women, about all of the things that are against the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and begin to fight for those freedoms. And I've been doing that my whole lifetime, and I think it's the least many of us can do to thank the West for the freedoms that they gave our families. Yeah, I can tell you that as much as people look to Muslims to fix our own house, the house of Islam is not going to repair itself. The world needs to look and say, hey, a quarter of the world's population is still being run by theocrats, and what do we do to protect ourselves from the jihadist threat, but also to recognize that there are people within that house of Islam that want to fix their condition. And what I gained from this conference is that there are people who recognize that and are willing to hold us arm in arm and lift up each other on each other's shoulders and begin to create platforms that are diverse both within the Muslim community and outside the Muslim community to begin that force multiplication. And I think this conference will go down in history as the beginning of that process of West and East working together to preserve the ideas of liberty and freedom that are really the only avenue to really speak to all of the things that they do across these organizations for human rights, women's rights, minority rights, free speech and freedom of religion, and all these things that have made the West the most successful countries on the planet because it speaks to individualism. And I've just been humbled to be a part of this.